Some people are born into faith. Others find it hidden in the shadows. This is not the story of a preacher, or a priest, or a prophet. This is the story of a prostitute, in a pagan city doomed to fall, who believed in a God she had never seen. When the city of Jericho was about to collapse, one woman's faith saved not only her life, but the future of a nation. This is Rahab, and this is her secret faith. Jericho was powerful, fortified, feared by every nearby nation. Its walls were thick, its armies prepared, but fear had already seeped inside. Not from another army, but from a rumor, a name, a people who had crossed the Red Sea, defeated kings, and were now camped just across the Jordan, Israel. And inside the walls of Jericho, a woman named Rahab heard the whispers, the stories, and something in her heart began to stir. She didn't have scrolls, she didn't have scripture, but she had ears, and what she heard planted something in her soul. Faith in a God she didn't yet know. Joshua, the new leader of Israel, sent 2 men, spies, to observe Jericho, its people, its walls, its weaknesses. They arrived quietly, and entered Rahab's home. It wasn't just a home. It was a brothel, a place most wouldn't look twice at. A perfect place to blend in. But the king heard. Word reached him. Spies have entered your city. They're in Rahab's house. Soldiers came, banged on her door, demanding the men be brought out. And Rahab, knowing full well the cost, lead. Yes, they came. But they already left. If you hurry, you might catch them. But she had hidden them. On the roof, beneath stalks of flax. Why risk everything for strangers? When the soldiers left, Rahab went to the roof. And what she said next would change her life forever. I know the Lord has given you this land. We've heard what he did at the Red Sea. Our hearts melted in fear. For the Lord your God, he is God in heaven above and on the earth below. She believed. Before the walls fell, before the victory, before the promise was fulfilled. Her faith didn't come from seeing miracles. It came from hearing about them, and trusting they were true. Then she made a request. Spare my family, my father, my mother, my brothers, everyone who belongs to me. The spies swore an oath. Hang a scarlet cord from your window. When we come, we'll see it, and you'll be spared. A cord, simple, red, like the blood that marked Israel's doors during the Passover. Like the faith that hides in plain sight. The spies escaped, returned to Joshua, and Rahab waited, day after day, wondering when they'd return, wondering if she'd made a mistake, if they'd keep their word. She could have removed the cord, pretended nothing happened, but she didn't. Faith doesn't always roar. Sometimes, it waits, in silence, in darkness, with nothing but a red thread in a window. And then, the day came. Israel marched around Jericho, once a day, for 6 days. On the 7th day, 7 times. The priests blew their trumpets. The people shouted, and the walls crumbled. Stone by stone, fortress by fortress, everything fell, except one part. The section with a red cord, still hung from the window. Because faith will always outlast fear. The spies went in, found Rahab and her family, and led them out, just like they promised. She was saved, not by her past, not by her perfection, but by her faith. And she didn't just survive Jericho. She joined Israel, became part of their people, and generations later, her name appeared in the most unexpected place. The genealogy of Jesus Christ. Rahab's story is proof that your past doesn't disqualify your future. That faith can grow in unlikely places. That belief doesn't need perfection, just a yes. God didn't choose her because of her profession. He chose her because of her faith. When everyone else in Jericho was hardened, one woman opened her heart. And today, maybe you feel like Rahab. on the edge, unseen, unqualified, but your story's not over. The walls may fall, but your faith will stand. All it takes is a scarlet thread, and a heart willing to believe, even when no one else does. This is Rahab, and this is what happens when faith hides in the roof and waits for God to move.